It's been a rough last couple of weeks for Kirk Cousins. 2 weeks ago in Atlanta, overtime interception returned for the game-winning touchdown. 2 picks against the Jets last week. For more, down to Laura Oakman. Laura.
Kenny, unlike the rest of the D.C. area, Kirk Cousins says he hasn't watched or read anything pertaining to Washington's quarterback situation, and that's exactly what Jay Gruden is hoping. Gruden called his quarterback, quote, fragile right now, saying between the media and his city divided, he hopes it doesn't affect him. Kenny, Gruden's plan today, get his quarterback's confidence going while hoping he doesn't lose his aggressiveness.
Thanks, Laura. Redskins will get the ball first. For the 6th time in 7 games, the Redskins lose the toss, and their opponent elects to defer. So Connor Barth gets things started, but they will do it again. It'll be a re-kick. Jeff Triplett, our referee, will set things up once again for Connor Barth. A look at Redskins head coach Jay Gruden, longtime assistant in Tampa under his brother John. Redskins come in at 2-4, back-to-back defeats. And Lovie Smith in his 2nd season as Buccaneers head coach. Tampa Bay with a record of 2-3.
And the Buccaneers finally getting some validation. Lovie Smith saying we're better than our record shows, but in the NFL you are who you are. And he finally got that validation against Jacksonville. Some things came together. It's going to be interesting to see this Tampa Bay team coming out of that bye.
Beautiful day, some rain this morning, 63 degrees on the last Sunday in October. Tarp on the field until about 2 hours prior to kickoff. Rashad Ross has brought one back for a touchdown this season against the Giants. Will not have an opportunity here, so Kirk Cousins and the Redskins offense will start from their 20-yard line, still without Deshaun Jackson, without center Corey Lichtensteiger. 16th career start for Cousins, but they do get back Trent Williams, Matt Jones, and Jordan Reed today.
Some pieces to the puzzle to help out a quarterback. You saw the career record with starts for Kirk Cousins there at 4-11. Jay Gruden is seeing things on the practice field that he likes, but sometimes they're not transferring to game day. So we'll see how he plays this afternoon.
Redskins start from the 20. Alfred Morris in the backfield. Redskins have had trouble running the football over the last 2 weeks, and they start with a negative play. Clint McDonald leading the way for the Bucs as we check out the Redskins offense.
As you mentioned, Trent Williams back in. Josh Laribas gets his 2nd start at center. But we need to keep our eyes on Pierre Garçon. Number 1, because with Jordan Reed back in, that takes some pressure off. Can he become more of a threat in the passing game? And also, he may have tweaked his hamstring pregame. We see how he feels and if that affects him at all.
Garçon, top of your screen, split wide to the left. On 2nd down at 11. Cousins swings it out to the rookie out of Florida, grew up in the Tampa area, Matt Jones, in this last week's game against the Jets with a toe injury. Now the Buccaneers defensively ranked 5th as far as yards allowed, but 31st in points per game.
Yeah, and if the Redskins are going to be able to run the ball effectively, they have to block number 93, Gerald McCoy. It's a good coordination between the front line and this linebacker group. Can they climb to that 2nd level and get a hat on a hat with the linebackers to get some better runs?
4 receivers set for the Redskins. 3rd down and 7. They must get to the 30. Cousins throws. Not enough. Stopped 3 yards shy, the rookie out of Duke, Jamison Crowder. So the Redskins go 3 and out, and will punt it away.
And the one thing you have to watch for Kirk Cousins today is there hesitation, is there doubt. There's a phrase when you talk about quarterback play in the NFL, and it's turning the ball loose. You go through your steps, your progression, everything, and you turn the ball loose based on your decisions, what you see. Can Kirk Cousins do that? Jay Gruden is going to be watching him to see if he's double clutching it. Is he hesitating? Has he lost his confidence in his decision making?
Tressel Way punting to Bobby Rainey, NFC Special Teams Player of the Week following the Bucs last game. Had some big returns against Jacksonville. And Rainey takes it out to the 36, setting up good field position for Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense.
Well, he has learned a valuable lesson in this early part of his NFL career. Against Carolina, had a really rough day, was involved with 5 turnovers. Against Jacksonville, the first turnover-free day by this offense in 25 games. Turnovers will destroy your ability to win a game at the NFL level. Jameis Winston learned that lesson in those consecutive games. He says, moving forward, it's my responsibility to make sure we continue to stay as turnover-free as possible.
Two tight end set, Stocker shifts. They start from the 36, the toss to Doug Martin coming off back-to-back 100-yard days. Ryan Kerrigan, the tackle, gain of just one.
And they're going to have to deal with Doug Martin, with Charles Sims in the running game, this offensive line up front. Donovan Smith, Ali Marpet, rookies playing very well. Logan Mankins back in the lineup today. But the big question, where's the production from Mike Evans? And I think that Vincent Jackson kind of had to talk to him this week. Don't get frustrated. Continue to work on your craft as a wide receiver. The day will come and you've got to be ready.
No touchdowns for Evans. He scored 12 as a rookie last year. On 2nd and 9, it's Martin. And Doug Martin picks up a first down and more. Martin to the Redskins' 40-yard line. So on his second carry today, Martin able to gain 23.
Well, you know that offensive coordinator Dirk Cutter was going to check this out. He wants to see how it's being played out here on the edge. Let's take a look. This has been the area where they struggled. Ryan Kerrigan goes inside. He gets washed down. Where's the other support? If he's going inside, who has run support back on the outside? Who's filling that gap? It's been a weakness in this defense for the last two games, and they started off with the same issue.
From the Redskins 40, Winston with time, looking for Evans downfield. He's got it. Touchdown. Mike Evans, his first of the season.
This is kind of a formula that Tampa Bay has been working on all season, and they did this very well against Jacksonville 2 weeks ago. Running game, Mike Evans, number 13 on the outside of that stack. It's just a down the field, little bit of a double move right there. He gets on top of Will Blackman, and it's over. A ball well thrown by Jameis Winston. Run the football, take your shots downfield in the vertical game off of hard play action.
40-yard connection. Evans' first touchdown of the year, and the first quarter touchdown scored by the Bucs. Connor Barth, 33-yard extra point. Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the early 7-0 lead over the Redskins as Winston hits Mike Evans for the Tampa Bay score.
This game is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide.
7-0 lead for the Buccaneers. Evans had a huge day against the Redskins last season, over 200 yards and a pair of touchdowns.
Kind of his coming out party last year in his rookie season.
Ross will not take it out. Second possession for the Redskins. They went 3 and out on their first opportunity. Kirk Cousins completed 2 short passes on the opening drive, but Redskins could not pick up a first down.
And it's all going to come off the running game. They've got to be able to establish the running game. That way they can start to move the pocket with some bootlegs and some different elements in their play action game. If the running game is not successful the way it has been the last couple of weeks, it's going to be difficult today. This is an important series right here. I mean, Tampa Bay came out. They sent a message to Washington. Kirk Cousins and his group, they need to have something productive here in this series.
On first down, it's Morris. Again, not much.
And they are controlling that edge. They're not allowing Alfred Morris to be able to really hit his stride. You can see he has to tap his feet in the backfield. He can't commit to a running lane. There's not a lot there right now in these first couple of running plays.
Morris to the sidelines. Redskins empty the backfield on second down. Cousins from the shotgun on 2nd and 10. There is a flag. Pass intended for Andre Roberts. We have Triplett, our referee.
Prior to the pass, holding number 21 in the defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Alteron Werner.
Working against Andre Roberts. This flag is thrown early in this route. They're going to be coming out of the slot. This is later down the field. It was actually called much earlier in that release.
So an automatic first down. Redskins send in Morris and the fullback, Darrell Young. Young split wide to the left. Off the play fake. Pass is caught by the tight end, Derek Carrier. Carrier gains 9. Close to another first down for the Redskins.
And there's a little bit of that play action. Get Kirk Cousins out on the edge. It's a bootleg. It's a good play call, too, because you had the blitz coming this way, and you're booting out the opposite direction with Kirk Cousins. So it's a good play in that situation. You can see it pop right away. Quick decision. Let the receivers, tight ends, running backs, whoever it is, catch the ball early and run with it. See if they can get some yards after the catch.
Redskins send in number 68, Tom Compton, as an extra blocker on the left side. As Morris is met immediately by William Golston. So it will be third down and 1.
But I like that play call because last week against the New York Jets, the Redskins really stayed predominantly with a zone blocking scheme, and that's shoulder to shoulder in your offensive line, trying to get that defensive line running and then allow the back to cut. That's a big front by the New York Jets last week. I wanted to see them do a little bit more man blocking. On that play, we had a little bit of that. Man down, pull some offensive linemen, try to get out on the edge, but you've got to secure the interior.
And the Jets able to get only the Redskins 34 yards on the ground against the Jets. Pass on 31 is intended for Matt Jones. Darrell with Levante David on the coverage.
Opportunity to make a play, to get yourself another set of downs, and you don't get it. Coming out of the bunch here, you're going to push vertical, little step inside. You've got your separation right there. It's a catchable ball. Just mistimed his jump a little bit. Plays are there to be made, and the Redskins haven't made them the last couple of weeks when we've been watching them, Kenny.
So Tress way back to punt for the second time. Rainey back deep for the Bucs. Rainey waiting for it. Backpedaling. Takes it out to 12. Bobby Rainey out to the 24-yard line to Shazer Everett. Made the tackle on special teams. An early touchdown pass for Jameis Winston. Winston in the Bucs offense. Back out.
Today's game is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
Second offensive possession for the Buccaneers. They lead the Redskins 7-0.
And expect Dirk Cutter to continue to test the edges of this Redskin run defense. He says it's a copycat league. It's a copycat league because you've got a problem on that side of the ball, and has Washington corrected it? They had it against Atlanta. It was there again last week against the Jets. Maybe not as evident, but it was still there, and we've already seen it once again here this afternoon.
Bucs start from the 25-yard line. On the toss, it's Martin. Martin, a 23-yard run, which helps set up the Buccaneers touchdown out to the 32. Trenton Robinson, a tackle, a gain of 7.
And good to see Doug Martin back running the way he did in his rookie year. Had that shoulder injury, and 13 and 14 were tough years for him, and he's stuck with it, hung in there, and he's off to a really good start here this year.
Went to the Pro Bowl following his rookie season. 3 carries, 31 yards today. On 2nd and 3, Martin able to spin out of a tackle. Looks to turn the corner, and he has a first down. For the first time today, we will send it to Los Angeles. Check in with Kurt Menefee. Kurt.
Well, Detroit got its first win last week, in part because Calvin Johnson got going. They get it to him early today, a little 1-yard score, but it's good enough for a 7-0 lead over the Vikings. Kenny Moose and Laura.
All right, thanks, Kurt. Divisional matchup. Lions with just 1 win. They've turned the ball over more than any other team. Kevin Pamphile in as an extra blocker.
Sunday. Let me go. False start. Number 64 offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And that's Pamphile, who I just mentioned, came in as a 6th offensive lineman.
Yeah, now he's jogging off the field. This is going to be a fun day for me because we got a lot of big bodies. There's number 64 on the left side of your screen. As you said, an extra offensive lineman in there in that tight end position. We had another tight end. We had a fullback. Vincent Jackson, a very good blocker at the wide receiver position outside. This is going to be a very physical game this afternoon.
Charles Sims in the backfield coming off a big all-around game against Jacksonville. 1st and 15 following the penalty. As Winston throws wide open. picks up a first down into Redskins territory. First catch today for Murphy, who is not able to get back up after gaining 24 yards.
And that'll be interesting to see what happens with Tampa Bay, because they've only got 4 wide receivers up on the active roster. That brings them down to just 3.
So the Bucs medical staff tending to Louis Murphy. We'll be back.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Dodge and by DirecTV. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
There's Louis Murphy, the 7-year vet, injured on the last play. He picked up the first down into Redskins territory. From the 37, Pamfield in once again, 64, has an extra blocker. And the catch is made by Mike Evans inside the 20, stays on his feet, and is finally tackled at the 12-yard line by Bashaud Breeland. So Evans, who had the touchdown earlier, gains 25.
Big bodies, heavy play action, 2-man route. And if you're going to stop Tampa Bay's offense, you have to stop this skinny route right here, skinny post, off the hard play action. A lot of times that's Vincent Jackson on that route. This time it's Mike Evans. Same result, though.
Darryl, the Buccaneers are averaging 19 yards per play. 7 plays, 132 yards of offense by the Bucs. On first down, it's Martin up the middle. Chris Baker, first Redskin to wrap him up.
I want to go way back in this drive, right before we went away to get some updates from Kurt out in LA. There was an opportunity for a play to be made in the backfield for negative yardage on Doug Martin. He spun out of that, got about a 9-10 yard run to get them another first down. And right now what we're seeing, whether it's offense or defense, there's opportunities for the Redskins to make plays, to stop momentum, to try and slow this offense down, or to get their offense going, and they're not making it.
Just over 16 yards per play. 3 wide receivers set. Second down at 11. Play clock is at 2. Bucs get the snap off in time. Winston now 4 for 4 as he hits Martin. And Martin is tackled inside the 5-yard line. Not enough for a first down, a gain of 10. So it will be 3rd down and 1 for Tampa Bay.
Now we saw Louis Murphy wide open at the second level. Now we see Doug Martin wide open in the flat area. So we're having some mistakes right here by the Redskin defense. Just a simple route. Release the running back into the flat, and everybody drops deeper in coverage. He's left wide open.
Buccaneers send in 2 tight ends. There's defensive coordinator Joe Barry. 3rd down and 1. Off the fake to Martin. Winston looking end zone. And then he throws it back across the field. His first incomplete pass. And the Buccaneers, stopped on 3rd down, will send out the field goal unit.
Well, we talked about learning your lesson about turnovers. Jameis Winston should know that this is not the right thing to do. This is well defended by Washington this time. They've got him moved out of the pocket. Don't go back to the middle of the field. Keep your points. Just throw it out of bounds. Line up, take your next snap.
So Connor Barth back with Tampa Bay. Second game since re-signing with the Bucs. This will be a 22-yard attempt. Shorter than an extra point. And Barth extends the Buccaneers' lead. It is 10-0 Tampa Bay. The NFC East up atop the Lincoln Memorial. Eagles and Giants at 3-3. Giants and Cowboys later today on Fox.
Oh, we talked about it. This is a muddled up division at 2-4. The Redskins still hanging in there. That's why this is a code red situation for Jay Gruden and this team. It gets them to 3-4. Nobody's trying to separate in this division right now. So going into that bye, get some confidence, get your guys healthy, and then come out and take your best shot at the New England Patriots. So that says it all. That graphic right there. This NFC East is wide open still, and we're almost at the halfway point.
Redskins will not play another divisional opponent until Sunday after Thanksgiving when the Giants visit. They still have 2 games against Dallas, 1 against Philadelphia. Rashawn Ross. And Ross is upended. Terrific tackle on special teams made by Jude I.J. Barima for the Bucs. 23 yards on the return. Redskins' first 2 possessions, only 1 first down, 2 punts. They trail 10-0. From the 14-yard line off the fake to Morris. Cousins, short throw. Catch is made by Morris at the 16-yard line. Gain of just 2. I mentioned earlier, Redskins still without some key players. Robert Griffin III in uniform last week, inactive today. Still no Deshaun Jackson, Lichtensteiger, and then both starting cornerbacks on the defensive side.
And Dirk Cutter is going to continue to test that. Now in their plays, we've had some good play from Will Blackman and Bashad Breeland, but he wants to see how deep that cornerback position is.
Morris spins out to the 18-yard line, and for the Bucs, they get Jonathan Banks, one of their starting corners, back today. Missed the last 2 games, but the 2-time Pro Bowler Tim Jennings, who has started 3 games this season, a healthy scratch.
Yes, Lovie Smith was not happy with his play at the end of that Jacksonville game. Gave up a big pass and a touchdown. Wanted his defense to close that game better, so sent a message to his team by sitting Tim Jennings down this afternoon.
3rd down and 6. Empty backfield. Cousins looking, pump fakes. Now he throws, and it is nearly intercepted. That's Banks. We just mentioned Jonathan Banks missed the last couple of games. He got a hand on it. Pass was intended for Andre Roberts.
And this is good protection by the Redskins up front. They give Kirk Cousins plenty of time in the pocket to make this show. It's good coverage down the field. You can't even find the check down, but this is one thing you can't do. This is an area that Kirk has to get better at. You can't throw the ball up in the middle of the field and ask a guy to make a play. This is some pretty good coverage right here. You got a guy coming off. Jonathan Banks leaves his guy, comes to the middle of the field to help out, and almost has an interception.
So Truss Way punting for the 3rd time.
And they have been close to a block on every single punt.
Rainey lets it go. But the Redskins bounce, and then it's scooped up by Rainey. But he's tackled back at the 28-yard line by Shazer Everett, who was in Buccaneers camp this summer. 52-yard punt after it was nearly blocked. Well, there's Mike Evans on the sidelines. Looked to be under the weather over the last few moments. He's not in the game on 1st down, and Tampa Bay has already lost Louis Murphy, ruled out for the rest of the game with a knee injury. So for the moment, down to just 2 wide receivers. Kevin Pamphil in once again as an extra blocker as Winston hands it off to Doug Martin, and he is out across the 45 to the 46-yard line, a gain of 18 for Martin.
Well, this was supposed to be an area of concern for the Buccaneers coming in. You know, the fact that they've got 2 young guys in their offensive line, it's become an area of strength. There you go, down, down, around. This is just well-designed plays. They're being executed flawlessly. I mean, Doug Martin has so much room to run.
He's averaging 9 yards per carry. Now Evans checks into the game. Buccaneers keep it on the ground with Martin across midfield into Redskins territory. What's going on with Mike Evans, Laura?
Well, Kenny, he was not feeling well, as you said, throwing up on the sideline. I've learned a lot about men. When a woman throws up, we get a lot of sympathy, a lot of "are you okay?" He looked like he wasn't feeling well, but every teammate who came over and coach who asked him about it would be laughing hysterically at him talking about throwing up. The good news is he's back in there, just not with a lot of sympathy or empathy, I guess.
All right, thanks, Laura. So Evans remains in, and he picks up a 1st down on the slant. To the Redskins 40 to Los Angeles. Kurt.
Well, a good football day for the state of Florida so far. The Jaguars won earlier. The Bucs lead in your game. And right here, Miami's Jarvis Landry takes this reception from Ryan Tannehill across the field and all the way in for a 50-yard score against Houston. They're up 14-0 in the 1st quarter. Kenny Moose and Laura.
All right, thanks, Kurt. Here's Winston off the play fake. Fires downfield for Evans. No flags.
Yeah, incidental contact.
And now back behind the play at the line of scrimmage. Some extracurricular activity. And a flag has been thrown out at midfield.
Holding 76 in the offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's on the rookie left tackle, Donovan Smith.
Let's first go back and check out what happened in protection. So it's going to be Donovan Smith way in here. That the left tackle gets beat right away on the quick swim, grabs and pulls him back. Now here's the no call. Now this is two guys heads up looking for the ball. Bashaud Breeland tries to cut underneath to make a play on the ball. They click heels and they both go down. So that's incidental contact. I like the call by the officiating crew in that situation.
And the key, as you mentioned, Breeland had his head turned. He was looking back for the ball. So no flag downfield. From midfield, Winston gets rid of it. Martin breaks another tackle. And is finally brought down at the Redskins 39, a gain of 11.
You get him in space with a football in his hand, short passing game. Watch the start-stop change the direction right here. Deshaun Golson, I'm sure he felt he had him dialed in pretty good to make that tackle, slips him inside. Now watch this plant right back to the outside again. That's a stout little guy, too, on top of that. Even when you get a hold of him, it's tough to get him to the ground.
Terrific first quarter for Martin, 80 yards in all. Second down and 9 as we approach 1 minute remaining in the quarter. Winston in trouble, throws it away.
Washington really loaded it up on that play. You're going to see 5 big linemen down. Your linebackers are walked up as well. So you're showing 7 coming, and they bring all 7 of them. Perry Riley Jr. comes free. Big play for the Redskin defense right here.
Third down and 9. Remember, the Bucs were forced back due to the holding penalty. Then the 11-yard run by Martin. Play clock winding down. Winston stands in the pocket, throws, and the catch is made for a first down by Vincent Jackson at the Redskins 26, a 13-yard connection.
Now these are the tough ones too. Your defense plays well. You get the advantage of that penalty. You get him in a third and long situation. Everything tips to yours. Watch the timing on this. A little kind of stutter acceleration go creates that separation against Bashaud Breeland, and the ball thrown on time by Jameis Winston.
Now, first quarters for the Buccaneers have been similar to third quarters for the Redskins, but that not the case here today as Sims takes the handoff from Winston, takes it inside the Washington 20. The Buccaneers had not scored a first quarter touchdown. They have been outscored 38-9 in the first, but as time winds down, a 10-0 lead for Lovie Smith's Bucs, and they are approaching 200 yards of offense, now at 196 over the first 15 minutes.
It has been impressive. I mean, explosive plays down the field, a commitment to the running game. Doug Martin running hard, throwing a lot of stuff at the Redskins in the first quarter.
So a terrific start for the Bucs. Mike Evans with the game's first touchdown, 10-0 Tampa Bay. Mike Evans with the game's only touchdown. He's made some big plays despite not going at 100%.
He is struggling right now.
Second down and 3 from the Redskins 19-yard line. This is Charles Sims who takes it up the middle and picks up a Buccaneers first down to the Washington 14. And now some flags are thrown after the play. One of the officials hits the turf. Comes up limping. That's the side judge, Alex Kemp.
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 78 of the offense. 15 yards, it'll be third down.
That's the right tackle. Gouger Sherilis.
You are right on the fringe of the red zone, and you've got to keep your cool. Football is a physical game. It's a game of emotion, but you got to be smart. It's a point of infinite. You cannot pull a player off the pile. That video is shown in training camp. It's re-emphasized by your coaches through the year. There's new things that are put in place every year to start the season. That was one of the biggest ones this year. just for this reason. They don't want anything to escalate, and all of a sudden we've got a free-for-all on the field. Gosder Shirless knows that. You're in the red zone. It's a 10-0 lead. You have an opportunity right now to go up 17-0, and you just lost your cool and cost your team 15 yards.
Right. Every player watches that tape. We watched the tapes prior to the season. So the ball spotted back at the 29-yard line. Ryan Kerrigan out on the field for the Redskins. Off the fake to Sims. Winston looking back across the field. Stays on his feet. Now throws. And the pass is incomplete, intended for Sims.
Well covered by the Washington Redskins defense on this, because they're going to send Charles Sims out this way, and they're going to try and get him. They give him the play fake to get everybody. Now, as a defensive player, you're going to turn around. You could see where Jameis Winston's eyes were. He was looking back to his left. He wanted Charles Sims down that far sideline. You're clearing everybody out, bringing everybody to the right side of the field, and you're going to try and slip Charles Sims out.
Early second quarter, Buccaneers leading 10-0. Well, this Tuesday, the World Series gets underway as Daniel Murphy and the New York Mets take on the Kansas City Royals, who are in the World Series for the second consecutive October. Coverage of Game 1 begins at 7:30 Eastern on Fox, with special extended pregame coverage beginning at 7 Eastern on FS1. We mentioned Ryan Kerrigan is out. There goes Keenan Robinson, and we check in downstairs with Laura.
As we're watching Keenan Robinson walk off, you talked about Ryan Kerrigan's out on the field. He's in the locker room getting his right hand examined. His return questionable, as is Mason Foster, Kenny, with a hamstring injury.
All right, thanks, Laura. Foster, the former Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Keenan Robinson, second on the Redskins in tackles this season, heads to the sidelines as well. Well, Compton has checked in for the Redskins. So has second-round draft pick Preston Smith for the injured linebackers. Saw Jeff Triplett and the line judge Jeff Bergman perhaps looking to adjust the clock.
Reset the play clock, correction, the game clock to 14:20. 14:20.
So they will add on 4 seconds. Ten first quarter points. Buccaneers scored 9 in their previous 5 first quarters combined. And most first quarter yards for Tampa Bay in 24 years. Winston dumps it off. This is Sims. And Sims able to fight his way down to the 21-yard line. That's Deshaun Goldson, the ex-Buck, losing his helmet.
Well, the Redskins knew they were going to have to defend the screen game today. They actually have this done very well. You can see coming in, converging in from the outside, there's Perry Riley Jr. inside out right there, Will Compton, but you don't make the tackle. They are really struggling getting Doug Martin and Charles Sims to the ground.
And after losing Kerrigan and Keenan Robinson, now Deshaun Goldson heads to the sidelines, replaced by Jerron Johnson. Third down and 2 on the toss is Sims. And Charles Sims picks up a Tampa Bay first down.
We talked about the Redskins trying to win the game this afternoon, get to the bye, get healthy. They're losing players very quickly here in the first half of this game.
Already without 2 starters on defense, D'Angelo Hall and Chris Culliver. There's Goldson. They lost Kerrigan, as we heard from Laura, in with the hand injury. Keenan Robinson left the field. So 5 starters down on defense are the Redskins. 12th play of the drive for the Bucs. From the Washington 16, it is Sims. And Sims takes it down to the 11 for a gain of 5.
And now they're just attacking edges. Ryan Kerrigan out. Your inside linebacker to that side is out. So from the right side, we get our strength to the right. We run that way. We've got backups at the end of the line and the linebacker level inside. They run right into that area. Good blocking by the Buccaneer front.
Redskins on offense have run only 10 plays. They've been outgained 227 yards to 21. This is Sims. Buccaneers have as many first downs as the Redskins have run plays. 10 and 10. Now Keenan Robinson back in, so the Redskins get one of their injured players back.
The one thing they're doing very well here to start this game is staying ahead of the change. Dirk Cutter in a really good rhythm with his play calling. We see a lot of these 3rd and shorts. Even when they've had that big penalty, that 10-yard holding penalty, they've been able to bounce right back from that with a big positive play.
3rd and a long one. 3 wide receivers set. Dante Dye, number 17, slot to the left. Winston to the end zone. It is Dye, his first NFL reception. It's a Buccaneers touchdown.
This is a very multiple offense right now. I circle Vincent Jackson because it looks like the potential for one-on-one with a big height advantage at the bottom of the screen. Kenny, they go to Dante Dye out of the slot for his first catch and as a professional. Look at the confidence they have. Here's the route. That should be Lewis Murphy, but Lewis Murphy's on the side and he's hurt. We're still going to call it. Dante Dye, you've got an opportunity. Go make a play, and he does.
Elevated from the practice squad earlier this month, playing in his 2nd game. He's from Division III.
Reset the game clock to 11:34.
Heidelberg University in Tiffin, Ohio. His first NFL reception, and he's keeping that football.
Nobody's going to be able to take that one from him.
So the Buccaneers, who led 10-0 after 1, extend their lead. Here is Connor Barth for the extra point. 17-0. Tampa Bay. Dante Dye, all smiles. Second touchdown pass of the first half for Jameis Winston.
Today's game is sponsored by the Ford F-150. Every other truck is history. And by Domino's. Order online and track your order.
What a start for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers early in the 2nd quarter. Following the touchdown reception by number 17, Dante Dye, it is 17-0 Bucs. A 14-play, 72-yard drive.
Great confidence in your offense, in your roster, because Dante Dye is filling in for Lewis Murphy, and they still trust him, and they go to him.
Well, we alluded earlier to the Redskins' issues in the 3rd quarter. We take a look at scoring by quarter. They've had good 2nd quarters this season, outscored 46-3 in the 3rd, and then outscored by 3 in the 4th. A look at the point differential by quarter heading into today's game.
Well, it doesn't even matter what's going to happen in the 3rd quarter right now. They're down 17. 5 of those 6 games, they were ahead at halftime, and they came out and they had a sluggish 3rd quarter. They're down 17 right here. Right now, it's not going to matter. They've got to get something done on this drive.
Here's Matt Jones spinning out to the 24. When we asked Jay Gruden about the 3rd quarter issues, he said, well, everybody's calling for adjustments, but as you said, Darryl, they've had the lead at halftime in 5 of their first 6 games.
There's some things that have gone against them. You know, it has happened again today. The other team defers. They're going to get the ball to start the 2nd half. They've had turnovers. They haven't performed well. There's things that you can't do. You know, they're not making plays. A lot of times it just comes down to the players.
11 total plays for the Redskins, 11 first downs for the Bucs. Incredible. This is Jones. And Matt Jones picks up the first down. We've seen Alfred Morris struggle, only 2 yards on his first 4 carries. So now the Redskins go to their 3rd-round pick out of the Tampa area, Matt Jones. And that is the first down for the Redskins offense. Their only other first down came by a penalty.
Alfred Morris is a physical, straight-line, downhill runner. this offensive line is not getting enough movement. They're not creating clear running lanes, establishing, allowing him to get running. Matt Jones is a little bit more creative with his running style.
Off the fake to Jones. Cousins with time. He throws, and the catch is made for a first down by Pierre Garçon across midfield into Buccaneers territory. So the Redskins offense coming to life. 22-yard pass play.
And this is how it happens. You get that run game going, it starts to feed a little bit. Pierre Garçon is going to cross the field at that intermediate level. He's open right away. He beats Mike Jenkins on the release to the inside. Safety help late getting there.
First catch for Garçon. Biggest play of the day for the Redskins offensively in their first trip across midfield. From the Tampa Bay 48. Cousins over the top, and the catch is made for a 5-yard pickup. It's the tight end Jordan Reed back after missing last 2 games due to a concussion.
And that's a huge miss because he creates matchup issues across the formation. You're already without Deshaun Jackson, who's your vertical threat, and then you lose Jordan Reed, who, you're going to play linebacker, you're going to play safety. He's been so good on third down.
Now 2nd and 6. Handoff to Jones, and he's wrapped up immediately by Clinton McDonald. Loss of a yard.
And here's kind of that differing style. I like Alfred Ward's in the zone scheme. Matt Jones I like in the man scheme. Right, he's going to press the hole. He's going to come back too early. He cuts back inside. There's certain landmarks where you don't want to come back behind. And I think that Matt Jones was a little bit impatient on that zone run right there, and Clinton McDonald played it perfectly.
Now 3rd down and 7. Redskins must get to the 38. Cousins on 3rd down, in trouble. Down he goes. Ball comes loose, and taking it all the way is Howard Jones for a Buccaneers touchdown.
Time in the pocket. It's going to come from Kirk Cousins, right side. There's the strip right there. Ball's on the ground. Nobody really notices except Howard Jones inside. Jaquez Smith gets the hand on the ball, knocks it loose. And this guy right here is pretty athletic. He's got some quick feet for a defensive lineman. There's nobody going to catch Howard Jones once he had that ball.
How about the first 6 quarters of Howard Jones' NFL career? Made his debut against Jacksonville 2 weeks ago. 2 sacks, including 1 on his first play. He was signed off the Steelers practice squad. And now, in his 2nd game, a 43-yard touchdown return. 24-0 Bucs. 2nd consecutive game of the fumble return for a touchdown. It was Jaquez Smith against Jacksonville. He knocks the ball away from Cousins today, and that leads to the Jones touchdown. So the Bucs have stunned the Redskins here in the first half. It is now 24-0. Rashad Ross on the return. So this Redskins offense, Darryl, actually started to move the ball. Some good runs from Matt Jones.
Yeah, had a little bit of positive momentum going. Here's Jaquez Smith. He's going to get the strip, and here's Howard Jones. So you've got your speed on the edge, and you just got to understand who you're going against. When you've got those guys out there, when you've got that speed out there on your edges, you've got to realize that. Morgan Moses gets beat. I think Kirk Cousins, I don't know why he didn't feel that that's coming into his face. He's open that way. Sometimes you get that blindside hit, and you haven't had that feel for it, but don't know why he couldn't get stepped up in the pocket there.
On first down, it's Morris. And again, he is tackled for a loss, this time by Quan Alexander. There is a flag.
This might just be a little bit of frustration, as you pointed out, Kenny. Finally something positive going on in that last series for the Redskins. No, Trent Williams clapping. It's going to go against the Buccaneers.
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 92 of the defense. Kicking a player. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's William Golston. Caught kicking an opponent. Golston heads off.
Yeah, head off and steer clear of Lovie Smith. He's not going to be happy to hear at this situation in the game that you kicked one of your opponents.
Golston replaced by George Johnson. Ryan Grant comes in motion, 1st and 10. 39-yard line. Off the fake to Morris. Cousins throws, and it's complete, taken out to the 46-yard line by Derek Carrier.
And you just got to stay to this. You can't panic right now. You're down 24. You've got 7.5 to go here in the second quarter. A little bit more sense of urgency from play to play, but don't jump into anything crazy right now. A 2-minute scenario. Continue to move the ball. Build off the positives you had on that last series. See if you can get some points here on this drive.
Second down and 3. Cousins complete into Buccaneers territory. It's Jamison Crowder who makes the catch at the Tampa Bay 37. An 18-yard connection.
Getting a good little mix right here. You had the boot on the last play, able to check that one down this time. Little quick throw up the seam.
Jones in the backfield, takes the handoff from Cousins. Matt Jones running hard, stays on his feet, and is tackled at the 34-yard line. Gain of 3 as we head to Los Angeles. Say hello to Mike Hill. Mike.
Hey, guys, got another NFC South team that's dominating Saints all over the coast. How about Michael Ho'omanahui? The pass from Drew Brees, 16 yards, score, 20-0 Saints. Kenny, Moose, back to you.
You know Mike was practicing that one.
That's one of the ones we have to spend a little bit more time on week to week. You did a nice job today with the Jude I.J. Barima.
You caught that, huh?
Yeah.
So the Saints out to the big lead, looking for their 3rd win of the season. Second down and 7. Cousins, quick release. And fighting his way for a first down is Garcon.
Very similar to the last possession. You know, they had that rhythm going. They've got it back again. I like the play call. Keeping Tampa Bay off balance a little bit here. A little bit of everything.
A set of downs for the Redskins. Cousins 9 of 11 overall. Off the fake to Jones. Complete to Ryan Grant. Grant inside the 10. Down to the Tampa Bay 7. Another Washington Redskins first down.
That's good patience and good vision by Kirk Cousins, because he was about ready to shift to that crossing intermediate route. He let it play out a little bit longer, was able to find Ryan Grant underneath for a bigger play. Right here, your crossing route is coming into view, and he waits, holds it, pulls it down, drops it onto the lower level to Ryan Grant for a nice catch and run.
Gain of 19. Jones in the backfield, 1st and goal from the 8. Off the fake to Jones. Cousins takes it in for a Redskins touchdown.
I can't tell you how big a drive that was, how big a series that was for Kirk Cousins, Jay Gruden, the whole offensive side of the ball right there. Very different plays, challenged Tampa Bay the entire series, and look at the last one. Little zone read with Kirk Cousins. William Golston collapses down. There's nobody there to stop Kirk Cousins for the touchdown.
Golston and Cousins, teammates at Michigan State. Cousins fooled him. Second rushing touchdown of the season for Cousins. Here is Dustin Hopkins for the extra point. It is now 24-7 Tampa Bay as Cousins takes it in from 8 yards out.
Today's game is sponsored by FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football.
Welcome back, Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Laura Oatman, Kirk Cousins with the Redskins' first score of the day. 38 total yards in their first 4 drives, 7 plays, 74 yards.
Yeah, all those struggles leading up to that drive, and you go to the one prior to it where they're finally moving the ball a little bit, have the fumble that's returned for the touchdown. Every opportunity for the Redskins to be extremely frustrated coming out in that one, but they take it down the field for 6.
It was a frustrating afternoon for Kirk Cousins until this. Robert Griffin III looking at the Microsoft tablet as well with Kirk Cousins.
Well, that's one of the great things. You know, adjustments don't go on at halftime. You don't wait till halftime to go in and figure out what was going on in the first half. You're doing it in between every series. So right there, Kirk Cousins is over there. All right, here's some of the things that we really like on that last drive.
On first down, the toss to Martin. And he is stopped for a loss of 2. Jason Hatcher for the Redskins. We check in with Laura.
Kenny, you guys are talking about how banged up Washington's defense was coming in. It continues. Ryan Kerrigan, he is out with a fractured hand. Keenan Robinson, trainers were working on his right abdominal that whole last series. And Deshaun Goldston is back in there, but doctors were working with him. Helmet gashed his face, his nose, and his mouth wouldn't stop bleeding for quite a while, Kenny.
All right, thanks, Laura. So certainly some bad news for the Redskins. As far as Ryan Kerrigan is concerned, a fractured right hand. And on second down, Winston's pass sails incomplete. He was looking for the tight end Myers. Now third down and 12 for Tampa Bay.
And Tampa Bay can't go to sleep right now. All the momentum has shifted after that fumble recovery for the touchdown. Tampa Bay had it all. It's 24-0. That offense for the Redskins does a great job going down the field, stealing it back. These first 2 plays, the Redskins have done a good job. You see what Jameis Winston has done. Can he keep that going here? Third and long situation.
Buccaneers must get to the 30. The screen to Bobby Rainey. And he is stopped 7 yards shy. So Tampa Bay, for the first time today, will punt it away.
Again, in a situation like that, a safe, conservative play call. You're going to go with the screen pass. Bobby Rainey checks, make sure protection's there. You dump it out to him. Maybe he breaks the tackle, gets the first down. Good job again by the Redskins. They know about this screen game. They know how they have to get bodies to the football.
Jacob Shum waiting inside his 10. Buccaneers had scored on every prior possession. Shum's first punt forces Crowder back. And Jamison Crowder takes it out to the 32-yard line, 49-yard punt, and 3 on the return. So for the Redskins, an opportunity here, Darryl, with under 3 minutes remaining in the half. As you said, Tampa Bay had all the momentum, leading 24-0. Redskins score. Now they get the ball right back.
Now, how impressive would that be for the Redskins to bounce back here, get the ball back down the field, and get some points? And who knows, maybe it's the third quarter that the Redskins come out and really kind of take control and get back into this game. That would be huge for a confidence boost getting ready for that bye week. So I was very impressed on how they hung together there after that fumble return for a touchdown. Great response by Kirk Cousins and his group. The defense comes out, follows up, gets them the ball right back.
Remember, Tampa Bay will get the ball first following halftime. They deferred at the start of the game. Best starting field position of the day for the Redskins from the 33-yard line. Off the play fake. Pass is caught by Jones out of the backfield, and he spins out across the 45-yard line for a Redskins first down.
You see that out in the open space, a little bit more nimble, a little bit more make-you-miss ability than Alfred Morris. Alfred's more of a kind of a punishing runner out in space. Matt Jones is going to give you an opportunity for some big plays.
From the 45, it is Jones on first down, a gain of 3 as clock winds down. And we will hit the 2-minute warning with the Redskins on the move. They scored a touchdown on their last possession. It's Jameis Winston and the Bucs leading by 17. Get apps, videos, and more at iTunes.com/NFL. 2 minutes to play, second quarter. Redskins trail by 17. Redskins have picked up the last 8 first downs in the game. Bucs went 3 and out on their last drive. Also scored a defensive touchdown as Cousins is able to get rid of it. And it is Jordan Reed who makes the catch at the Bucs 47.
Now he stands tall in that pocket. Everything's starting to break down. Jordan Reed on the outside working against the corner, that little pivot route. You can see he shows right there in the middle of the field.
And now the Bucs will use a timeout.
Washington, their first 30 seconds.
Buccaneers took the timeout to stop the clock prior to third down. But look at what's coming up on the Visa halftime report. Kurt.
Coming up on the Visa halftime, Blake Bortles overcomes a late pick in London. The Patriots try to stay picture perfect against the Jets, and the Dolphins have something developing against the Texans. Highlights and more at the half.
All right, thanks, Kurt. And Kurt mentioned the Dolphins leading Houston 35-0. The 3 Florida teams have outscored their opponents in the first half today of their 3 games, 86-17. Incredible. Jaguars with the victory in London as Cousins throws, and it's incomplete. A big hit was laid on Andre Roberts by Chris Conte.
Going to come out of your slot. Work the vertical route right there, bends it out. There's the window, and there's the hit by Chris Conte. Good timing. Got a real nose for the ball. The big thing with Chris Conte is, can he stay healthy? And he also does it within the boundaries of the rules. And with player safety being emphasized in that situation, good targeting by Chris Conte.
And now Jay Gruden leaves his offense on the field on fourth down. If they did not convert, a lot of time left for the Buccaneers. Here's Cousins on 4th and 2, and the Redskins pick up the first down. It's Crowder, but there is a flag.
And Jamison Crowder has really stepped up since that Atlanta game. Become another weapon in this passing game. Tough to cover on those underneath routes. Bit shallow routes. You wonder if this could be offensive pass interference with a pick.
Illegal shift. Offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. It'll still be 4th down. Man went in motion before the other player got set.
Basic fundamental football. Now that means you're going to have 2 people in motion at the same time. You didn't give somebody an opportunity to get set. You could see Jamison Crowder was pointing to the outside. He did not get set when Jordan Reed left to come in motion. So 2 players moving, that's basic football 101 stuff. You can't have that type of mistake when you convert a 4th and 2 at that juncture. Like you said, Kenny, what was at stake there?
First penalty committed by the Redskins today. Rainey back deep. From way end over end. Rainey lets it bounce. And it takes a Redskins roll down to the 11-yard line. Big first half for the Tampa Bay Bucs. Redskins went 3 and out on their first possession. Winston hitting Mike Evans, 40-yard pass play. First touchdown of the season for Evans. And then Winston finding Dante Dye early in the second quarter, his first NFL reception.
There's the big one with the defense. Yeah, Washington finally started to get some rhythm. And it's Jaquez Smith with the strip, and Howard Jones takes it in. And right after that, it was a great follow-up by Kirk Cousins in this offense to be able to go down the field, the little zone read right there, fool Tampa Bay. Kirk Cousins in for the touchdown.
Now the Bucs take over with the 17-point lead. This is Sims, broke away from Goldson, and takes it out across the 20-yard line. Timeout taken by the Redskins. Stop the clock with 1:12 remaining. Our first half summary: Tampa Bay led by 24 earlier in this quarter. Then a 74-yard Washington drive but the Redskins lose Ryan Kerrigan to a hand injury.
Yeah, we were hoping that you get into that bye week and you get healthy, get ready for your next game. And we've got a lot of injuries here that the Washington Redskins will have to overcome. Been a rough first half for them.
And again, the Buccaneers will receive the second half kickoff. They have the ball here with 1:15 remaining and all 3 of their timeouts. On second down, it's Sims. And Sims on the second effort picks up a Bucs first down.
They continue to fall forward on the previous run to get into that 2nd and 2 situation. It didn't look like much, but he picked up 8 yards on that, and Tampa Bay has been able to stay kind of ahead of the chains on down and distance all first half.
250 yards of offense for the Bucs, over 200 in the first quarter as Chris Baker hustles to get off the field. Bucs keep it on the ground with Sims. And it's another Tampa Bay first down, and now Tampa Bay will use a timeout following that 13-yard run. It looked like they were content to let the half run out, but now Sims picks up 13.
Well, I think they were. Their process was to come out. We're just going to run this first half out. We're not going to get into a hurry-up mode and try and get more points. But all of a sudden, Charles Sims keeps running hard. He gets getting positive yardage here, and all of a sudden he breaks this one. Now you're out past the 35-yard line. Why not in this situation now? So I think they really did kind of change their mindset there during the process of this drive. Washington has struggled in the first half getting Doug Martin and Charles Sims to the ground.
Now if you're the Bucs, you gain about 25 more yards. You're in field goal range. 35 seconds and 2 timeouts. Buccaneers have doubled up the Redskins as far as time of possession to this point. Winston in trouble. There is a flag.
Holding, offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's the rookie right guard out of Hobart, Ali Marpet.
I think Dirk Cutter is going to talk to Jameis Winston. This has got to be one of the plays that he would like to go through the game film and not see happen. He's dodged a bullet a couple of times here the last couple of weeks, going down and throwing this ball to the outside like that. You understand the rules of the game. It gives a quarterback a ton of options in the pocket, outside of the pocket to take control and to get that ball thrown away cleanly.
So now with 30 seconds remaining, line of scrimmage is the 27-yard line. First down and 20. Here's Sims. The clock continues to run. And the first half will come to an end. Here in Landover, Maryland, Lovie Smith's Buccaneers looking to make it back-to-back victories. They try and get to the 500 mark for the first time since 2012. Boos raining down on the Washington Redskins as they head to the locker room. 2 touchdown passes for Jameis Winston. Tampa Bay with a 24-7 lead over Washington. And the Buccaneers will receive the second half kickoff. Tampa Bay led by 24. And then the Redskins scored with under 5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. So a big first half for the Tampa Bay Bucs. We send you to Los Angeles for the Visa halftime report. Homecoming weekend. Redskins honoring one of the Hogs. Jeff Bostic inducted into the Ring of Honor. 14 years with the Redskins. Embraced by Doug Williams. Jeff Bostic, a 3-time Super Bowl champ. Today's excitement brought to you by Nissan. A lot of excitement in the first half. If you're a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, Mike Evans, first touchdown of the season. A couple of TD throws by Jameis Winston. Today's excitement brought to you by Nissan. So the Buccaneers with a 24-7 lead, and they will get the football first In the second half, Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, and from a Redskins standpoint, they are in an unfamiliar position. They had actually led at the half in 5 of their first 6 games.
Boy, if they ever needed a good third quarter, they need it this afternoon. And we were anxious to see how they're going to respond. And sometimes, as players, you just have to put everything behind you. We actually went through a little bit of this when I was with the Cowboys. Went through a 4 or 5 game stretch where when we came out in the second half, we were not playing very well. Everybody wanted to talk about it. Everybody wanted to know what you're doing to try and fix it. Sometimes it's just without of your control. Just forget about it. Let's go play football. We played good football for 3 of the 4 quarters. Let's make it 4 out of 4 and figure that third quarter out.
Shorter half times than when you played, not as much time to make adjustments. So the Buccaneers with a 17-point lead as we check in with Laura Open. Laura.
I'm going to start with Jay Gruden. We've talked so much about halftime. What did he talk about with his guys? He said it was so important to get that positive yardage going for Kirk Cousins and for this team. He said, I told them we're just down 17. It's time for us to impose our will, to come out aggressively and passionately. As for Lovie Smith, he said offensively wants to keep the run game going. Defensively wants to get them into their passing game, make Kirk throw more, wants him to keep throwing so they can get some more takeaways. That's what Lovie preached, Kenny, take the ball away.
And the Buccaneers, Laura, with a defensive touchdown off a takeaway for the second straight week. Tampa Bay doubles up the Redskins in total yards. 264 yards for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, but a nice run at the end of that first half for the Washington offense. Put 2 drives together. I really like that gutsy 4th down call that the Washington Redskins did. But you have the penalty and you take that opportunity away. Now you got to punt the ball back to Tampa Bay. So Jay Gruden has done the things necessary. They just got to be clean. They can't have these mistakes. They had a couple of key mistakes in that first half that prohibited them from having possessions extend down the field.
Bobby Rainey back deep. As the Buccaneers look to even their record at 500. Wins over the Saints and the Jaguars this season. Redskins at 2-4. Victories over the Rams and the Eagles. Second half underway as Brady lets it go through the end zone. Buccaneers will start at the 20.
And here's the problem in the third quarter. If you take a look at that yards, average yards per rush, there's that rushing game again. The points, obviously we've talked about that differential right there. They've had turnovers in the third quarter. Now, 5 of the 6 games prior has started off like this. The team has won the toss, deferred, elected to take it to start the second half. A couple of times Jay Gruden wanted to have the win in the fourth quarter. They never really had an opportunity to get anything going in the third quarter. This is a huge series to make a statement by this defense. Just because they have the ball doesn't mean they're allowed to possess it. So go out, get a 3 and out, get your offense back on the field.
Buccaneers start from the 20-yard line. Off the play fake. Vincent Jackson goes up and comes down with the football for a first down, a gain of 14.
Again, there's that play we talked about. It's the hard play action and skinny posts. So there's your play action, quick throw, turnaround to the middle of the field. 2 big wide receivers, Mike Evans, Vincent Jackson, tough matchups.
Remember the Redskins without a couple of starting linebackers. And now Jeff Triplett will head over. Jay Gruden wants him to take a look at that play, which is ruled a catch by Jackson.
Washington is challenging the ruling on the field, a completed pass.
One more look for you. And Jeff Triplett will head under the hood.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Burger King. Kick off fall with a new Oreo Pumpkin Spice Shake. By Cricket Wireless. Something to smile about. And by Bank of America.
After review, the ruling on the field has changed. Receiver did not maintain possession of the ball when it hit the ground. It came loose. It's an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 on the 20. Washington is not charged a timeout.
Finishing the process of the catch, have to maintain possession. You see right here as it hits the ground, loses control. Hand comes off the ball.
So Jay Gruden throws the challenge flag for the first time this season. He won only 1 of 8 challenges last year as a rookie head coach. Wins this one. And now Martin gets back to where Jackson was when he made the catch. So the Redskins win the challenge, and then Martin gains the same 14 that Jackson did.
It's just such a quick little screen. It's so hard to defend. You see the play action, and all of a sudden you kind of scatter from where you think the ball is going to go. And there's Doug Martin sitting right in that same spot. You get it to him quick, and he's down the field.
First and 10 from the 34-yard line against a depleted Redskins defense. Here's Martin on first down. Gains a couple. Out to the 36.
That would be one of the big things here with this lead. Tampa Bay is going to want to lean on the running game and take time off of that clock. Possess this. Stay ahead of the chains. Washington is going to have to create some negative plays. They're going to have to be stout. It's been a big question the last couple of games. This rush defense for the Washington Redskins. Can they stand up here in the third quarter?
Both teams kind of mirroring what we've seen over the last few weeks. On the ground, fighting back-to-back 100-yard games. Winston on second down. And Evans unable to hang on.
Will Blackman almost had an interception right there. Coming across the field, a little bit behind the receiver. He reaches out to try and get it now as he's bobbling this and trying to make the catch. Here comes Will Blackman, and he almost steals it from him.
So it is now third down and 9 for Tampa Bay. Opening possession, second half.
Got to get off the field on 3rd and 9s.
Bucs must get to the 44 for a first down.
False start, number 74, offense. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
That's Ali Marpet, a rookie right guard, his second penalty.
They had 3 stand-up blitzers in both of the A gaps, the gaps between both center and guard areas on the right and left side, moving around. Finally got Ali Marpet to flinch.
Third down at 14 following the penalty. Winston from the shotgun. Steps up. He'll keep it. And he loses the football. Winston stripped. And then he looked to recover. And now some more pushing and shoving. And a flag as Sean Goldson was knocked to the turf.
That's great hustle, great strip right there on Jameis Winston. Even had it tucked away pretty well. You're in pursuit. You see it.
Over. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. 74 in the offense. 15 yards, it'll still be 4th down.
That's the hat trick for Marpet, his 3rd penalty as he shoves Goldson.
One of the rookies in the offensive line. It's a tough day down there. It's a physical game. You know, tempers flare. But you've got to be able to maintain your emotions in that situation. Can't take those 15-yarders.
Second round pick out of Hobart, the highest drafted Division III player of all time. And Marpet's played well early in the season.
He really has. You know, you're coming from a small school. You're going to see competition at the NFL level you never saw at Hobart. And the Buccaneers have been very impressed with his progress here. That one's easy to dial back. The hard thing is getting a player in that position to have that fiery mentality. Much better to be able to dial it back a little bit than try and create it.
Shump punting for just the 2nd time. Crowder deep for the Redskins. Crowder will let it bounce. Takes a Bucs roll. A good field position for the Redskins following the 40-yard punt. Redskins will start from their 40 as Kirk Cousins leads the Washington offense back out.
Defense did their job. They got out. They got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers off the field here in the third quarter. Now it's up to Kirk Cousins and his group. Come out and see if they can reverse some of the misfortunes they had here in this 15-minute stretch.
Cousins with the Redskins touchdown, also was stripped, taken back for a defensive score.
Leading rusher Matt Jones, 5 carries, 16 yards. Have to make improvement in that area here in the second half.
And Jones is in the backfield on first down. Off the fake. Cousins under pressure, gets rid of it. Jordan Reed stays on his feet and fights his way up to the 48-yard line for a gain of 8.
Again, going off the play action right off the start here. A little bootleg back to the other side, dragging Jordan Reed across the formation. He's going to go back underneath to the right. All the play action going to the left. You can see he's open right away. Now a nice little run after the catch here. Get a couple more yards.
Setting up second down and 2. Wide receiver straight to Crowder. But it did not fool Quan Alexander as Crowder is tackled shy of a first down.
Now, we've done the Tampa Bay Buccaneers twice now, and one of the names that always comes up in our meetings is Quan Alexander. You know, for a rookie coming in playing that Mike linebacker position, you have to make all the calls there in the middle, and that's a lot for a young guy to undertake, and he's really handled it well. And you can see right there's Lovie Smith making the calls into the defense.
Redskins have not converted on third down today. Off the fake toss to Crowder, the play is blown dead. Looks like the Bucs called timeout.
Timeout. Tampa Bay. They're first. It'll be 30 seconds in left.
So the Buccaneers use a timeout on defense. Third down and 1 coming up, and coming up on Tuesday, it's game 1 of the World Series. New York Mets and the Kansas City Royals. Coverage of game 1 begins 7:30 Eastern on Fox. Special extended pregame coverage beginning at 7 Eastern on FS1. For the Mets, their 5th trip to the World Series. For the Royals, their 4th. A last one in back-to-back Octobers. Royals in 85 under Dick Howser. Mets in 86 under Davey Johnson. Should be fun to watch. First 2 games in Kansas City. Next 3 at Citi Field in Flushing. Third down and 1. Cousins throws, and it is Roberts. What a catch! Andre Roberts inside the 15. He made an adjustment, came away with the football, and now a late flag back behind the play.
93 in the defense. 15 at the distance, and at the end of the play, first down.
Trent Williams of the Redskins shaken up. The penalty assessed to his college teammate and good friend Gerald McCoy.
Third and short situation. Andre Roberts comes across in motion. They go for the big play. You heard Terry Bradshaw talk at half. If you're level with the coverage, if it's corner and wide receiver level, it's going to come on that back shoulder. Good ball placement by Kirk Cousins on that. You're down low. You can't be down low, allowing the quarterback's legs.
So that was McCoy. And as I mentioned, Trent Williams, his teammate at Oklahoma, injured on the play. Missed last week's game with a concussion. So Ty Nseki, who made his first career start last week, is now in at left tackle for Washington.
And this is a shift in mentality, a shift in thought process. He played well last week against the Jets, against a big physical group. Can he do it again here? If not, let's make sure he's okay in the beginning. Let's give him some chips. Let's release backs that way. Let's not put him on an island right away.
Well, 53-yard play, 38 on the catch and run by Roberts, 15-yard penalty. First and goal from the 7, off the play fake. Cousins looking, he was hit as he throws. And the pass is incomplete, and now a flag has been thrown in the end zone. And another flag comes out back behind the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes the play is just not there. It's a hard play action. You're trying to get the ball into the end zone. They've got it covered well. Throw it away. Don't hold it. Don't allow a negative play to happen. You hold that ball. Everybody's converging on you. You got another opportunity for a strip sack by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
By the way, the previous penalty on McCoy was half the distance, not 15 yards, so a total of 45 yards on the play.
Prior to the pass, holding number 26 defense. That penalty is declined. Roughing the passer, number 92 defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
The roughing the passer assessed to William Golston.
Coming from the top of the screen. So that you see how long that play took. I mean, William Golston is down on the ground.
Golston and Cousins, as we mentioned earlier, teammates of Michigan State. First and goal from the 4. Grant in motion. Cousins looking end zone. He throws. Touchdown, Ryan Grant.
Nice play design right there. In that situation, you bring Ryan Grant across formation. He gets dropped in coverage. He's just going to go down to the corner right there. They don't get the bump out. Look, he breaks free and clear. Levante David running out. He's like, who's supposed to have Ryan Grant? What a great start here in the third quarter. Again, it's guys making plays. We can talk about all these different things you want to do to get done, to get this third quarter thing remedied. It's just about guys making plays. Guys from the Redskins defense made plays. Guys on the offense made plays.
Hopkins, the extra point. Ryan Grant. First NFL touchdown. Redskins pull to it in 10. 4-play, 60-yard drive, and the Redskins score a touchdown in the third quarter for the first time this season.
And one of the talking points about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was secondary play, and a great example right there. Ryan Grant crosses formation, gets completely dropped in coverage for the touchdown.
Onside kick. Redskins recover. That was the initial signal. And now it'll be Buccaneer football.
I'd be surprised. It looked like a Redskin was right there to make that the fumble recovery. Yeah. Trenton Robinson comes out with it, number 34.
So now Jeff Triplett signals Redskins. Coming into this week's games, no team had recovered an onside kick around the NFL. They had been 0 for 24.
Well, they had a great opportunity late last game against the Jets, and Mason Foster missed an opportunity for the recovery, and that was well executed. Tampa Bay's front line on the kickoff return unit starts to bail, so that's great film work as you're going through the course of the week. Ben Kotwika notices that side of the field is bailing a little bit quick to get down the field to set up their blocks. Those are the opportunities to make a big game-changing play on special teams.
Now, Jake Gruden was asked about Dustin Hopkins and his onside kicks in practice. He called them, he said they're magic balls. I don't know how he keeps the ball in play. And the Redskins come up with it, trailing by 10. Cousins over the middle, it's Grant. Ryan Grant, a touchdown moments ago. And now a big play. He's inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Grant gaining 32.
I tell you, this is a nice touch by Kirk Cousins right here. Ryan Grant coming out of the outside of the bunch. He's going to end up into the deep middle of the field, over the top of the linebacker, in between the two safeties. Nice route, nice touch over the top by Kirk Cousins.
Now the Redskins back inside the red zone. First and 10 from the Tampa Bay 19-yard line. Movement prior to the snap.
False start. Offense. The entire line except the center. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So Josh Laribas, you're off the hook.
Yeah.
The entire line except the center.
But he got everybody else because Josh Laribas was late. He didn't snap the ball. Everybody else is ready to go on the play. I mean, everybody. Trent Williams might have held in there.
The Trent Williams who left during the last series, replaced by Nseki. Williams back in. First down at 15. Off the fake to Jones. Cousins takes it down to the 16-yard line.
What a nice little changeup. You're not expecting this from Kirk Cousins. He had the touchdown run in the first half. That's a big gain right there. Penalties in the red zone or on the red zone fringe can really disrupt the drive. And here they come again with the zone read play. Kirk Cousins with the good read gets outside, gets some good positive yards.
Cousins gains 8. And you're right, you don't expect it, Darryl. Coming into this game, 2 yards rushing on the season for Kirk Cousins. They executed the fake well. Second down and 7. 3 receivers split to the left. Cousins throws right. It's Crowder. And Jamison Crowder has a Redskins first down.
The biggest difference in the third quarter here is the Redskins are just making plays. Kirk Cousins with good decisions on the zone read. Great touch over the top to Ryan Grant. And right here, he allows Jamison Crowder to run after the catch. His accuracy has been questioned the last couple of games. This is perfect. Stands in the pocket, takes the hit from Akeem Spence, delivers it on stride to Jamison Crowder.
Cousins now 18 of 21. And a couple of nice runs as well. He's completed 6 in a row. Hands it off to Jones. And Jones is tackled from behind. Nice play made by Chris Conti.
One of the guys in the secondary that Lovie Smith has talked highly about. It's been an area that they want to get shored up. They're still kind of working on their cornerback situation, but the one guy he talks about in a positive light is Chris Conti. If he can stay healthy, he's made big plays. He's always around the football. That's a good tackle right there out on the perimeter.
Second and goal from the 9. Empty backfield. More movement. Flags. False start.
False start. Offense, number 8. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
So this time, it's Cousins.
Well, they were able to overcome the penalty when they were right on the red zone fringe and they got to 1st and 15. Now, can they do it again here as they get pushed back?
So it is now second and goal from the Tampa Bay 13. Empty backfield. Everybody out. Cousins sets and throws, and it's broken up. Quan Alexander again, and there is a flag. Pass intended for Roberts.
By the pass. Holding. Number 58, defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's on Alexander. Big penalty. Automatic first down for the Redskins.
Absolutely. But what you're doing, you got vertical routes that go down the field into the end zone. You're isolating Quan Alexander on a wide receiver right there. So you're going to have the wide receiver come in. He's going to work that little stick route and then go back to the outside. Just gets a handful of jersey. If you see that jersey stretch, easy call for the officials.
11th Tampa Bay penalty. First and goal from the 8. Crowder in motion. Play clock winding down. Cousins on the slant. It's Reed. Jordan Reed stays on his feet and now is brought down at the 3.
Now keep an eye on Pierre Garçon on this next play. He felt he was wide open on that one. I think this is an adjustment right here. You've got Jordan Reed outside. He wins inside right away. Pierre Garçon, there's Jordan Reed on that one, working the inside. Pierre Garçon, after that play, motioning to the sidelines that he was wide open. He comes down to the bottom of the screen this time.
On second and goal to the end zone. And broken up. No flags. It's Jude I.J. Bariba who got a hand on it.
Sometimes you got to be a little bit more subtle with your frustration. Everybody knows that he wants that ball. Wow. Fans here booing that one. They felt like there was a lot of contact there. We saw him just turn Darrelle Revis inside out last week in a similar situation for an easy touchdown on that play.
3rd and goal from the 3. Cousins on the slant. Touchdown, Jordan Reed.
Boy, he has been sorely missed in the starting lineup by the Washington Redskins. You can see the matchup problems he causes. We've seen linebackers on him. We've seen corners, safeties. Again, he's got a backup corner on him. Beats him to the inside. Good play design with Matt Jones inside working against the linebacker. They're able to use that as a little bit of a rub. It prevents the corner from being able to jump right down inside Jude I.J. Bariba has to kind of climb over the top. That's what gives the separation for the throw for the touchdown.
Second touchdown reception of the season for Reed, who sat out the last 2 games. Hopkins, the extra point. It was Hopkins' onside kick following the previous touchdown, which led to this score. Redskins have pulled to within 3.
Today's game is sponsored by Nissan. Innovation that excites.
Well, Jay Gruden's Redskins trailed 24-0. They have scored the last 21 points. 3rd quarter, a major story heading into this game. Redskins have scored 2 touchdowns in the 3rd.
And he's actually brought the game back to traditional style right now. He's been very aggressive with his play calling. He went for it on 4th and 2 late in that first half. Goes deep on a 3rd and short here. Onside kicks on the last one. It's been fun to watch, and everybody, you come out now you've got a big deficit here in the 3rd quarter. How are you going to respond to that? That's a 3rd and short play call right there. Aggressive down the field. That results in a touchdown for Ryan Grant. They dropped him in coverage. You follow that up with an onside kick. Executed perfectly. They get the ball right back. Now it's Jordan Reed. And you've taken a 24-0 deficit early in that first half to 24-21. Now the onus is on Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Off the fake toss to Martin. Winston in trouble, and he's forced to throw it into the ground on the pressure from Preston Smith.
Well, this is a good job of understanding, what's going on. Preston Smith right here at the end of the line. He's responsible for bootleg coming out. Goes down a little bit, but recovers, gets up there, gets enough pressure on Jameis Winston. Look, got a hand in the face mask right there. No face mask.
So from a Buccaneer standpoint, what do they have to do to quiet this crowd and kind of slow the game down?
Well, you got to start off with 1 first down. Just get that first down.
There's Martin on the toss. Out of bounds at the 25 as we head to Los Angeles. Check in with Mike Hill.
Hey guys, Julio Jones hadn't had a touchdown catch since week 3, but that's about to change because he's a good man. You can't keep him down. 8 yards from Matt Ryan. Falcons on top 10-7 in the 3rd over Tennessee. Kenny, Bruce, Laura, back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Mike. Huge 3rd down coming up.
It's all baby steps, Kenny. You want to be able to quiet the crowd by getting that first down and then moving forward. Here's their last play here in this series to try and get that done.
Play clock winding down. Winston attempts to call timeout, but it looks like the flag was thrown first for delay of game.
Timeout. Tampa Bay. Their second.
So
30-second timeout.
Winston is awarded the timeout. Remember, Lovie Smith used one earlier on defense, so the Bucs now down to just 1 timeout, and that could loom large later on. By the way, the Redskins have 16 of the last 19 first downs in the game. Winston talking about it with Triplett. Buccaneers were awarded the timeout. A look at the play clock prior to the last play. It did hit 0. Flag was thrown, top of your screen to the right. Winston attempted to call timeout. And he was awarded the timeout by Jeff Triplett. So now it is 3rd down and 5. Buccaneers must get to the 30 as Winston lays one up for Evans, and he makes the catch. Mike Evans quiets the crowd, picks up a Tampa Bay first down, a 24-yard pass play.
This is a lot of confidence. You come out, you've got your bunch to the right side, you're going to work zone routes over there, but you get the one-on-one situation on the outside, Mike Evans versus Will Blackman. That's where the way the coverage shifts tells you to go, but you still got to make that throw. Well done by Jameis Winston.
Sims. There is a flag as Charles Sims picks up a first down and more. A second penalty marker has been thrown. Sims still going and finally tackled inside the 10. But remember, there were 2 flags thrown.
Pursuit angles. We've talked about the edge, giving up the edge, not setting the edge in the run game. Also, their pursuit angles. Because we saw this last week with Chris Ivory and the Jets, a play starting one way and then kind of winding its way all the way back to the opposite side where Contain was. Very similar to this run right here. Charles Sims exploits it out the back door.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal block in the back. Number 13 in the offense. That penalty is declined. Holding. Number 70 in the offense. That penalty is accepted. 10 yards. It will still be first down.
That's Logan Mankins, the left guard, 6-time Pro Bowler with the Patriots.
So Mike Evans with the illegal block in the back. There's 13. As all of a sudden the play starts coming this way, you go to get in, and you had Will Blackman get upfield. Mike Evans shoves him in the back. That one was turned down, and they actually accepted the holding call on Logan Mankins right there.
Grabbed hold of Jason Hatcher, a couple of veterans. So it erases a 43-yard run by Sims. 1st and 20. Play action. Winston with time. He throws, and the catch is made by the tight end, Luke Stocker, his first reception of the season, down to Laura.
Kenny, penalties hurting this drive, and they're also without a big target. Vincent Jackson is on the sidelines with a knee injury. His return is questionable. He stands with a baseball hat, which does not look good for his return. Kenny?
Thanks, Laura. They already lost Lewis Murphy earlier, out with a knee injury. So going with 2 tight ends set are the Buccaneers on 2nd down at 14. Dye and Evans split out to the right. Winston for Evans, wide open. And Mike Evans has a Tampa Bay first down. He goes over 100 yards for the day. 20-yard pickup.
Sometimes the way a play is designed, it just makes it very difficult in coverage. I want you to watch the timing on this. Watch the route. Watch when he snaps the route off and when the ball is delivered. It's a good press at the top. Looks like you're going to release to the outside. You put your foot in the ground, come back. Your corner has already opened his hips and started to go downfield. Creates that separation for the throw.
First and 10 from the Redskins 35. The toss to Martin. And Doug Martin takes it down to the 30. We welcome those of you who have been watching the Saints and the Colts. Kenny Albert, Darrell Johnston, Laura Oakman from Landover, Maryland. Tampa Bay Buccaneers had a 24-0 lead midway through the second quarter, but the Washington Redskins have battled back with the game's last 3 touchdowns. Redskins have never come back to win a game after trailing by as many as 21. Jameis Winston, 2 touchdown passes in the first half with Tampa Bay. 2nd down and 5. Winston hands it off to Martin. And Doug Martin leans forward to the 27-yard line. It will be 3rd down and 2.
The mark of a really good running back is somebody who can make people miss in confined spaces. And on that play right there, Doug Martin, there was a linebacker in the hole, and he made him miss right there. Kind of sidestepped and moved around him and then got upfield. Not a big gain, but he kept it away from being a negative play. That gives you those 3rd and short opportunities.
We're down at 2 for the Bucs. Play clock is at 2. Doug Martin has a Tampa Bay 1st down to the Washington 23, quieting the crowd. The Buccaneers over 200 yards of offense in the 1st quarter. They led 10-0 after one, 24-7 at the half. Here's Dirk Cutter, their offensive coordinator. Now 3rd quarters have driven the Redskins and their coaching staff crazy. Over the first 6 weeks, Washington outscored 46-3 in the 3rd. But here today, they have outscored Tampa Bay in the 3rd quarter, 14-0.
And really the biggest difference this afternoon compared to the previous games was just guys stepping up and making plays.
Here's Martin. Martin losing his helmet. Big onside kick earlier this quarter after the Redskins had scored a touchdown. First successful onside kick in the NFL this season. Redskins recover, and Kirk Cousins threw his 2nd touchdown of the quarter.
Well, it's gotten to this point, and with Laura Oakman's report about Vincent Jackson being out, as you talked about that, Kenny, that leaves Mike Evans and Dante Dye as the only wide receivers. Now, that can play into the advantage of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They want to be a run-first team with play action thrown off of that. So they've made the adjustment. The Redskins are going to have to stand up and win a physical game down here in the stretch.
10th play of the drive for the Buccaneers. 2nd down and 7 as Winston spins. Steps up. Hit as he throws, fires to the end zone. It's a touchdown. There are 2 flags. Mike Evans makes the catch, but we will check with the referee, Jeff Triplett. Looks like it's against Tampa Bay.
Pass interference, offense, number 13. 10-yard penalty. It's still 2nd down.
One of the things when you rush 3 is you're going to give your quarterback a lot of time. So here comes Terrence Knighton up in the middle right there, forces the pocket out. You sidestep the other rusher right there. So you're giving your quarterback a lot of time, and that's a lot to ask your secondary to cover that long. Now here's where the penalty is. He's asking for it to be thrown up, and you can just see him kind of throw Trenton Robinson to the side, make that catch.
Season high 13th penalty committed by Tampa Bay.
I think if he would have just stepped around him, there was really no need for him to grab Trenton Robinson and kind of move him, because he had his back to the quarterback. He wasn't aware the ball was coming. He could have just sidestepped him and moved in to make that catch.
And he has a huge size advantage, 7 inches on Robinson.
That's why he was asking, just get that ball thrown up, I'll jump him. But when it was underthrown a little bit, now he's got to move back to make that catch.
So following the penalty, it will be 2nd down and 17.
Warning for Tampa Bay.
Against a depleted Redskins defense without their 2 starting corners. They lost a pair of linebackers earlier, including Ryan Kerrigan, out with a broken hand. Second down and 17. Winston out of the shotgun. Winston under pressure again. Down he goes.
On the previous play, they only rushed 3 and dropped 8 into coverage. This time they bring 5. So you crank up the pressure a little bit more to get pressure on Jameis Winston. All your 5 big bodies down. Now you're actually going to add a linebacker late. That whole pocket collapses down. So good adjustment right there by defensive coordinator Joe Barry.
Stephen Pryor, the sack. Big third quarter. Yes, a big third quarter for the Redskins. 5 of their first 6 games, Redskins had the lead at the half and then struggled in the third quarter. Today they trailed at the half and outscored Tampa Bay 14-0 in the third.
Under the same conditions, lost a toss at the beginning of the game. Tampa Bay deferred. They get the ball in the third quarter. This Washington team, the entire team, offense and defense, tremendous third quarter. Forget about that this week.
We begin the fourth. Third down and 26. Catch is made by Stocker. Forced out of bounds inside the 30. Gain of 11. So the Buccaneers are in field goal range, leading by 3.
Lovie Smith told us this is one of those games that was just going to go to the toughest team. Well done, Will Blackman. Your corner taking on a big tight end in there. Stop and slow him down. Let your players rally up behind you.
So here is Connor Barth from Arlington, Virginia. 45-yard attempt. He hit from 22 back in the first quarter. Buccaneers looking to pump the play clock back up. And Jeff Triplett does just that. From the left hash. Jacob Schum places it down. And the kick by Barth from 45 is good. So the Buccaneers extend their lead. Now a 6-point game early, fourth quarter.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Colonel Sanders Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's still finger-licking good. By Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Chevrolet. Use hashtag iDrive4 and we'll contribute $5 to fight breast cancer.
That's a nice setting for a little flag football game right there, the shadow of the Washington Monument.
Sure is. Have you ever taken the elevator all the way up?
You know, I have not. We were over there yesterday and we talked about that. I've not been to the top of the Washington Monument.
Have to try and make it work. We'll be back a couple of times in November.
You know what? We'll put it on the calendar.
6-point game. Redskins will start from the 20. Will Blackman getting his team fired up. Redskins in the third quarter outscored 46-3 heading into today's game. 2 touchdowns today against the Bucs. They did not turn the ball over. 8 first downs in the third quarter for Washington.
Now they get to answer the question, what was different yesterday in that third quarter? But hopefully they can put that whole thing to bed and not have to be bothered with it.
Now we'll see what they can do in the fourth. Start from the 20 as Cousins hands it off. And Matt Jones found a big hole and picks up a Redskins first down, and then a late flag is thrown at the end of the play.
After the play is over, a personal foul. A necessary roughness, number 92 in the defense. 15 yards added to the end of the play. First down.
Second time William Golston has been flagged today. A personal foul. Check it on the Jets and the Patriots with Mike Hill. Mike.
All right, guys, Chris Ivory having a slow day running the football, having a great season, though, but he can do other things like catch it out of the backfield. 9 yards from Ryan Fitzpatrick. Jets have added a field goal. It's 2016 Jets in the fourth. Kenny, moves back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Mike. Ivory, a big day against the Redskins last week. On first down, here's Morris. We haven't seen Alfred Morris in a while. It has been all Matt Jones here in the second half, and Morris crosses midfield.
Yeah, but kind of picking up right where Matt Jones left off. Some positive yards in the running game. And on the play before, the big run by Matt Jones. Keep your eyes on number 92 coming in late on top. And after that play, Matt Jones kind of walked off the field a little slow.
Now Jones is back in, following that hit from Golston. 14th Tampa Bay penalty, the toss to Jones on 2nd and 5. So Jones continues to run hard. Grew up in the Tampa area. 3rd round pick by the Redskins, and he's had himself a nice afternoon.
That's a nice physical finish to that run, a toss into the short side of the field. You eventually run out of real estate. He squares his shoulders and just drives some people backward for some extra yards. Big physical runner.
So now the Redskins facing 3rd down and 1, trailing by 6. After trailing by 24 in the second quarter, Redskins send in an extra blocker, number 68, Tom Compton. On 3rd and 1, the inside handoff to the fullback, Darrell Young.
Good job keeping your feet moving and keeping your body upright so you don't fall. Because there's not a whole lot there. Watch this for Darrell Young. There's not a whole lot there when he gets up to the line and get in behind everybody. He went down low for that one.
And finally, the first down signal. So a new set of downs for Jay Gruden's Redskins. Off the fake to Jones. Cousins throws across the field. He was looking for the tight end, Jordan Reed, as Cousins gets back up onto his feet. He had completed 16 of his last 18 prior to that throw.
And they were ready for this one. You're going to come right into the face of that bootleg, so you don't have to worry about contain or anything.
Now 2nd and 10 from the Tampa Bay 44. Pass is caught at the 40, and then spinning and taking it down to the 38-yard line is Reed, setting up 3rd down and 4 for Washington.
You just see the impact that he's had in his return to the starting lineup here this afternoon. Definitely somebody that Kirk Cousins is comfortable throwing the ball with. They've got some good rapport. Thrown 7 times, 6 catches. Not a lot of yards, but in good situations, he's the guy that keeps the chains moving on 3rd down. Had the touchdown catch at the end of the first half.
Redskins must get to the 34 for a first down. Cousins fires, and the catch is made by Pierre Garçon, who picks up the first. 15-yard pass play.
And they've got to keep him involved, because last week against the Jets, he kind of disappeared there in the second half. He's at the top of the screen working against Mike Jenkins. And it's also a nice job by Kirk Cousins stepping up in that pocket, gets it on the back shoulder as Quan Alexander is trying to close that throwing lane down. That's a tight window to fit that in.
Cousins now 22 of 27. 1st and 10, 23-yard line. It is Jones, and he's bottled up. Cannot make it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think the big lesson learned here today is at 24-0, and this crowd really starting to rain down some boos on the Washington Redskins. Jay Gruden is committed to Kirk Cousins. He's talked, he's preached patience. He's seen the throws at practice, waiting for them to transfer. And if you really look at the beginning of the game, Washington was not playing well in any phase. Offense, defense, they weren't doing anything to get him to the point where they could be competitive. Jay Gruden stayed with Kirk Cousins. It's paid off to this opportunity here on this drive.
Empty backfield from the shotgun on 2nd down and 11. Cousins dumps it off. And a nice tackle made by Levante David on Garçon. So 3rd and 9 coming up for Cousins, who's written about more here in D.C. than the presidential candidates. Laura Oakman mentioned at the start of the game, Kirk doesn't pay attention to it. And you're right, he's put together a pretty strong afternoon after the Redskins fell behind 24-0.
I think the big thing that Jay Gruden shared with us is if it is written about Kirk Cousins, it's usually from a negative perspective. There's never really anything positive about him. And that's why he was worried about where he was at from a frame of mind standpoint. He's played with a lot of confidence today. And as Laura pointed out at the top, that was one of the things that Jay was trying to create with his game plan this afternoon.
Another huge play here. 3rd down and 9. Redskins must get to the 14. And the play is blown dead. Ball start, or delay of game.
Offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Redskins took too much time, so it is now 3rd down and 14.
Again, you're on that red zone fringe area. That's in your control as an offense. It was a short running play. The play previous to that, no reason for you to have a delay game penalty in that position.
Cousins on 3rd and 14. Nice adjustment by Reed. However, it's brought down shy of the first by Bradley McDougal. He needed 14 and gained 10.
Kirk Cousins has done a nice job this afternoon of climbing up in the pocket. He sees the openings up front, climbs up, good ball secured as he moves up, finds Jordan Reed. Watch the hustle by Levante David down the field. Gets a big hit on Jordan Reed. Those situations, a player coming from behind with a big hit like that sometimes result in a fumble.
So Dustin Hopkins out to attempt a 35-yard field goal to pull the Redskins within 3. One of the Bucs was running off the field, just made it off.
Yes, he did. Deshaun Goldson just made it off. Or no.
Hopkins converts. 3-point game midway through the 4th.
Today's game is sponsored by Xbox One, the official game console of the NFL.
A 4th and 4 situation. Tampa Bay very, very lucky. Almost another kind of personnel situation that would have given Washington the first down on the penalty on that. They're rushing a player out onto the field in that field goal situation. They were able to get him off right before the kick.
Brady takes it out. There's a flag. Brady stopped just shy of the 20. 2 flags thrown. Busy day for Jeff Triplett and his crew.
During the return, holding number 31 to the return team. Half the distance to the goal, first down, timeout.
That's on Major Wright, the 15th Tampa Bay penalty. There he is, Wright, number 31. Bobby Smith's Bucs, 138 yards in penalties, 4th most in team history. They've committed 15. Franchise record is 16 in one game.
5 of those are personal fouls too, Kenny.
A lot of flags. Buccaneers clinging to a 3-point lead. 1st and 10 from the 6-yard line. Martin takes it out to the 9. Goldson the tackle. This season, stream live local Sunday afternoon games right on your smartphone with NFL Mobile. Buccaneers led 24-0. Redskins have never come back to win a game after trailing by more than 21. Second down and 7 with under 7 minutes to play. Off the play fake, Winston airing it out on second down, too far for Mike Evans.
Will Blackman kind of one-on-one coverage right here with Mike Evans on the outside. Again, you've got the big bodies in there trying to get the defense to bite on the play action. You run the double move on the outside. And remember, Mike Evans has been battling some flu-like symptoms all day. We've had reports that he got sick on the sideline in the first half, probably dehydrated this time. You can see how tired he was. Vincent Jackson is on the sideline right now, injured. Louis Murphy's on the sideline right now, injured. They don't have any more wide receivers left for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Dante Dye split out to the left. 3rd down and 7. It is Evans. Mike Evans makes the catch for a Tampa Bay first down.
Real nice throw catch right here, working against Bashaud Breeland. Had some great location. Good work with his feet on the sideline. Bashaud Breeland in good position on the coverage. That's just a nice throw by Jameis Winston.
So without the injured Lewis Murphy, without Winston Jackson, Russell Shepard inactive today. It's Evans and Dye. Buccaneers down to 2 wideouts. New set of downs from the 25-yard line. It's Martin for a gain of 2.
Evans and Dye on the outside, but then also those big guys inside. Donovan Smith, Logan Mankins, Joe Hawley, Ali Marpet, Gosner Sherrills, the offensive line for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're going to be the key down the stretch. And can this Redskins rush defense? They've been criticized for the last couple of weeks. We talked about the third quarter struggles. The other big topic of conversation is Washington's run defense. Can they rise up right here?
Second down and 8. Pass to the outside is caught by the tight end Stalker. Luke Stalker out to the 32. And you have to give this Washington defense credit. They allowed over 200 yards in the first quarter alone. But since then, less than 200 over the last 3 quarters. So they've clamped down.
Yeah, and missing some key guys on that defense. Will Compton in the lineup right now. That was a nice play. Moving inside out, in coverage. Tackle for a short gain.
They lost Ryan Kerrigan earlier. They lost Keenan Robinson for a period of time. He has come back. Without their 2 starting corners. Third down and 3, and now trainers and equipment managers running out onto the field. And the ball was snapped.
Tampa Bay called their third and final charge timeout. 4:45 on the game clock.
Use their final timeout
on the game clock.
But nobody notified the center, Joe Hawley. Certainly too many men on the field. Buccaneers use their final timeout, which means if anything comes up over the next 2 minutes, 45 seconds, Lovie Smith cannot challenge. Tampa Bay facing a third down and 3, leading by 3. Winston on third down. Throws and the catch is made by Evans, and there is a flag. Breeland all over him. Evans come up with another spectacular catch, his 7th of the game.
That was a big blitz by Washington in that situation. Working the outside. There's top of the screen, Mike Evans working against Bashaud Breeland.
There is no foul on the play. First down.
He had his hand on his waist, but I don't think he pulled him. But that's just a good throw catch in that situation by Jameis Winston and Mike Evans. Again, hats off to Mike Evans. You know, he was not in great shape in that first quarter with some of his issues there with his stomach, and he is the only guy left except Dante Dye, who's making his first appearance.
So the flag picked up. New set of downs for the Bucs. From their 46-yard line. On first down, it's Martin. Martin breaks free. He's inside the 30, still going. Inside the 10, and finally wrestled down by Bashaud Breeland. Breeland still down. Martin gains 49.
Well, they had somebody coming right in. You can see Trenton Robinson walks up right here, so that ball's going to break right back into that spot. So you should definitely have the player there for run support in that situation. He comes up, he gets too far inside. It's just a bad angle right there. You're responsible for that gap. That's your run fit. You hear guys talk about run fits and gap control. Trenton Robinson had that inside gap, and he was just too flat.
Third straight 100-yard game for Doug Martin, first Bucs since Cadillac Williams in 2005. And Redskins already decimated in the secondary. Bashaud Breeland shaken up on the play. As we head to Los Angeles, check in with Mike Hill. Mike.
NFC East battle for America's Game of the Week coming up next. Matt Castle getting the start for Dallas. Cowboys struggling, trying to end a 3-game losing streak, taking on OBJ, always dancing, as you heard him tell Michael Strahan in our pregame show. Giants trying to end a 5-game slide against their division rivals. That game next on Fox. Kenny Moose, back to you.
All right, thanks, Mike. Redskins will have a close eye on that one. So will we. Eagles, Giants 3-3, Cowboys at 2-3, and the Redskins for the moment at 2 up and 4 down as Breland heads to the sidelines.
You can see if Washington can pull this game out this afternoon to get to 3-4. Dallas wins that game to get to 3-3. That NFC East just becomes more jumbled.
Talked about the Redskins' injuries without Hall and Culliver. Now Breland in the secondary without Ryan Kerrigan and Perry Riley Jr.
All those guys out
as well.
Right now, you have to hold Tampa Bay to a field goal attempt here.
First and goal from the 5 following the 49-yard run by Martin. 4 minutes remaining. On first down, it's Martin. And he takes it down inside the 2. Buccaneers send in some big bodies. Kevin Pamfield with an extra blocker. Tight end Luke Stocker along with Brandon Myers. 10th career 100-yard game for Martin, his 3rd in a row.
Well, he made some yards out of nothing right there on that one too. His start-stop in tight quarters is very impressive.
Second and goal, the fullback Jaworski Lane is in. Lane shifts. Winston hands it off to Martin. Martin dives forward, and he is stopped shy of the goal line. Keenan Robinson makes the play.
A little bit of penetration here, flattens him out, but we've seen him really finish runs tough. Tries to dive in right there, good pursuit inside out.
Third and goal with under 3 minutes remaining. 10th play of the drive. Started at their own 6. Now Sims in the backfield with the fullback Lane. The toss to Charles Sims, and he is stopped by Deshaun Goldson, the ex-Buck, the first Redskin to meet up with Charles Sims.
Late shift by the fullback. Is it a telltale for that defense? Because the right side just explodes upfield into the backfield. Watch the late shift right here. And then watch this group just push straight into the backfield.
Now the Redskins use a timeout. The Buccaneers offense is still out on the field. It is 4th and goal from the 3, with Tampa Bay leading by 3. How about this decision by Lovie Smith?
Touchdown makes it a 2-possession game with 2:27 left. No timeouts.
Now here comes the field goal unit after a delay. Left the offense out and now decides to try and make it a 6-point game. What would you have done?
It takes a lot of guts. You better be ready. You better have confidence. I think if the last play wasn't a negative play, I might have thought about it a little bit longer. I like this decision right here. Make Washington go the length of the field, score a touchdown to beat you.
So here is Barth, a 21-yard attempt from the left hash. 6-point lead for Tampa Bay with 2:24 remaining here in Landover. .224 remaining, 4th quarter. Kenny Albert, Darrell Johnston, Laura Oakman here in Landover, Maryland. We welcome those of you who have just joined us. Wild game. Tampa Bay Buccaneers led 24-0 in the 2nd quarter. Redskins would score the next 21 points. And now the Redskins will get the ball back, down by 6. Tampa Bay with a defensive touchdown that extended their lead to 24-0. Redskins lose one of their leaders on the defensive side to a broken hand, Ryan Kerrigan. And the Redskins with 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They recovered an onside kick, leading to their second touchdown in the third quarter.
Well, Jay Gruden has preached patience to the fan base for the Washington Redskins with Kirk Cousins. It was rewarded when they were down 24 to get to this point. Now he has an opportunity to bring his team back from the largest deficit in franchise history.
First and 10, 20-yard line. Cousins to the outside, and it is Matt Jones who makes the catch for a gain of 6.
I want to see a little bit more urgency right here. I mean, you should have been able to get more than that one play before the 2-minute warning here. It was a bad location on the throw down low, and
Redskins get the snap off prior to the 2-minute warning. On the slant, they pick up a first down to the tight end, Jordan Reed. So we have hit the 2-minute warning with the Redskins on the move, trailing by 6. Welcome back. Entertaining game here in Landover, Maryland. Buccaneers jumped out to a 24-0 lead. Redskins now attempting to drive downfield, trailing by 6. Cousins on first down, complete. It's Reed again. We welcome those of you who have just joined us. Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Laura Oakman. Tampa Bay Buccaneers led 24-0. It's now a 6-point game with the Redskins driving. 1:40 remaining. Washington in need of a touchdown. Cousins to Andre Roberts, and he skips into Buccaneers territory.
I've been impressed with Kirk Cousins in the pocket today. There's times he stood in there and taken big hits. He's climbed the pocket well. I think he's taken another step. Jay Gruden has talked about wanting to see him improve, being patient with him. I think he's taken some steps here today. This would be a huge, we talked about confidence at the top of this game. Washington having confidence going into their bye. If they pull this win out, they're going to be on cloud 9.
9 straight completions for Cousins. It's Pierre Garçon inside the 40. So Kirk Cousins now 29 of 34 with so many of the great Redskin quarterbacks on hand today as we take one more look.
But the odd thing right now is you're allowing soft coverage along the sideline. In that situation, it's usually tight coverage, so if it's going to be thrown outside, you're not going to also be able to get out of bounds and stop the clock. You're going to make them work the middle of the field so that clock can keep running. I mean, the last 2 plays, Washington's been able to throw catch on the sideline and stop the clock and preserve those 2 timeouts.
From the 38 on first down. Another completion, 30th of the day for Cousins. It's Jordan Reed. Down to 1:15 remaining. 10th catch for Reed in his return after missing the last 2. And that's a new career high. Now movement prior to the snap.
Neutral zone infraction, 94 defense. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
George Johnson, that is the 16th Buccaneers penalty. It ties a franchise record.
Trying the feet down here, see if he was lured. That little kick right there. And sometimes these guys get so dialed in, so locked in on just the slightest movement, whether it's a finger or a foot like that right there.
First and 10 from the 27-yard line. Cousins to the outside, it's Roberts.
You got to be careful with this throw right now. That's a long throw across the field. You might be starting to get baited by a Mike Jenkins or a Jonathan Banks in these situations. You've been able to take advantage of this soft coverage on the outside, but eventually Jonathan Banks or Mike Jenkins are very aggressive, very savvy. They could lure you into a throw that they could jump.
11 straight completions for Kirk Cousins. From the Buccaneers 24. Cousins looking for Crowder, and Jamison Crowder makes the catch inside the Tampa Bay 10.
Great anticipation with the play call. You catch Tampa in a big blitz, and you run that play with the deep ball coming out of the slot.
And now the Redskins will use a timeout with 35 seconds remaining.
Tampa Bay walking everybody up into the line of scrimmage. You've got the perfect play call on. Great anticipation. It's going to come all the way from the inside here to get vertical. And we've talked about some of the throws that Kirk Cousins has made here in the second half. That's another one that he drops in over the top to Jamison Crowder. He had a real nice throw in the third quarter on a big drive into the middle of the field over the linebacker between the two safeties.
Cousins now 32 of 37 with Sonny Jurgensen, Billy Kilmer, Joe Theismann, Doug Williams, Mark Rippon, Jay Schrader, all in the stadium. So many of the Redskin greats at his position. On homecoming weekend, Cousins now one shy of the franchise record for completions in one game. First and goal from the 6. Cousins to the end zone. He was looking for Reed. Bradley McDougald on the coverage.
A lot of confidence in your young safety right there. Jordan Reed is a tough matchup. Size, strength, athletic ability. Just a little bit too far right there. Good tight coverage.
Now second and goal. 32 seconds remaining. Redskins trailing the Buccaneers by 6. Redskins have never come back to win after trailing by more than 21. Cousins on second and goal fires. And it's incomplete. Conti got a hand on it.
I think that was intended for Jamison Crowder coming from the inside of the slot on the left side here. He's going to let it go over the top. They got lucky right there. Chris Conti was breaking on Andre Roberts. He might have been in a spot for an interception.
Redskins now face third and goal from the Tampa Bay 6. 4 receivers. Split to the left. The tight end Reed to the right. Cousins on third down looking for Reed. He's got it. Touchdown.
They caught Tampa Bay a little bit confused with their coverage right there. You put that 4-person bunch to the left side. It grabbed so much attention. They had difficulty getting things sorted out to the single receiver side. So you've got this big 4-man bunch on this side. Jordan Reed is by himself opposite, but there was confusion in what to do from a coverage standpoint. And Levante David is a little bit late getting there. Heavy outside leverage by the corner in that situation, so the distraction with the heavy bunch to the top made things a little bit challenging down below there.
It is no longer a gimme. The 33-yard extra point. Dustin Hopkins for the lead. Redskins by 1. 24 seconds remaining.
I tell you, I've been so impressed by Washington's ability, the resiliency this afternoon at 24-0, and to get to 24, the one good drive they had the entire first half up until that point, a strip sack, return fumble for a touchdown for Tampa Bay, to get to 24, and they have bounced back. It has been very impressive to watch. It was all Tampa Bay. They came out and they were on fire. Here's that last play to get to 24. Ja'Quez Smith with the sack strip. Howard Jones picks it up. That makes it 24-0. And Kirk Cousins starts the comeback, and it has to go through the troublesome third quarter for Washington. The only successful onside kick so far this year in the NFL helps out. They get rid of some of those issues in the third quarter with 14 points, and then on that last drive. And let's not forget, first and goal at the 5-yard line after the big run by Doug Martin. The Redskins defense hunkers down and forces a field goal to allow them to come back on a touchdown drive and take the lead 31-30.
24 second half points. Cousins ties Jason Campbell's franchise record for completions in one game. So the Washington Redskins will never come back from a deficit of more than 21 to win a game. Now lead by 1. There is Jordan Reed, who has had a huge day, 11 receptions, 2 touchdowns. And now the Buccaneers, with no timeouts, send their offense back onto the field with only 24 seconds remaining.
And we talked about their situation at wide receiver. During the course of the game, not an issue. They're going to run the football. They're going to use play action. They could be serviceable when they only had Mike Evans and Dante Dye. But in this situation, you need all hands on deck. They are short at wide receiver. They'll have to go with tight ends in some of those positions. And again, the mismanagement of timeouts during the course of the half puts them in this position, 24 seconds. Needing a field goal, 0 timeouts.
Winston on first down. It's Evans. Mike Evans with his 8th catch of the day out to the 36-yard line.
Well, that was too easy.
Barth's career long is a 57-yard field goal, so the Buccaneers need to get to around the 40, which means about 24 more yards to get into field goal range, only 18 seconds remaining. From the 36, Winston on first down. It's complete to the tight end, Cameron Brate. And Brate will take it out to the 43-yard line for a gain of 7, down to 12 seconds.
And you've got comfortably 2 plays depending on the distance down the field, maybe 3 plays in this situation right now.
Might be too little time for 3 plays.
Depending on the distance they want to take him down the field, Kenny, working that sideline. You can get it out in 3-4 seconds.
Second down and 4. Winston takes some time, goes over the middle for Sims, and now they're in field goal range, but don't have a timeout. Ball comes loose. Redskins recover, and will be able to put the exclamation point on the biggest come-from-behind win in franchise history.
I don't know if this was one of those plays set up to start the laterals all the way down the field, but played well by the Washington defense. Don't allow them on the outside with the ability to make the catch and step out of bounds. If you want the middle of the field, go ahead and take it.
Now there were 12 seconds remaining at the start of that play. Like the clock did not run down as long as it should. So we'll check in with Jeff Triplett. Again, there were 12 seconds at the start of the play. All turnovers are reviewed.
The clock did not start on the previous play. There is 5 seconds remaining in the game when the ball was recovered by Washington. There's 5 seconds left.
So 5 seconds on the clock. You talked about it in the open, Darryl. Jay Gruden used the phrase code red on Monday following the loss to the Jets. Redskins looking ahead at a bye week and then a road game in New England. A loss today would have just killed their chances heading into the bye, but instead 1,202 games in franchise history, their biggest come-from-behind win, and they will now tie, at least for the moment, the Eagles and Giants for the most wins in the division.
A devastating loss. If they'd have gone to 2-5 with the bye, a lot of questions and concerns still there with New England coming out of the bye. Now, take that the other direction. You just have the largest comeback victory in franchise history. You're going into the bye. You're going to be tremendously confident. The third quarter, we don't need to talk about that anymore. Hopefully you get some guys back healthy. You now go to New England with a good opportunity to play your best game and see what happens up there. If Dallas beats the Giants, who knows what's happened?
Redskins win it by 1.